Okay, now the topic is project management process and project selection. Life itself is a project. It has got components, it has got interaction, it has got initiation, it has got monitoring and management, it has got output and outcome. Let us see, the objectives of this course module is that to understand the general format for the process of project management, know about the project identification criteria and prima facie analysis, to understand the contents of a detailed project report as per the norms of financial institution, explain the project selection criteria based on marketing, production, financial personnel, legal and strategic factors. The process of project management has got, as already said, that certain components, and it is stepwise components. I am just telling. First one is that project identification, then comes prima facie screening, technical and marketing feasibility, financial feasibility, social cost benefit analysis, project implementation, project monitoring, project termination and audit. Let us start with project identification and prima facie analysis. This step is very crucial. Almost 99.2% projects are dropped during this step. To mention in a positive way, a big percentage of the projects which cross the hurdle of prima facie study reaches its destination of implementation. The entrepreneur is affected during these particular processes, especially when he is a fresh entrepreneur. So, must be very careful, very critical and very composite. Performance of existing industries. It is generally observed that we are looking at the performance of existing industries in the proposed sector. If pesticide industries are not doing well, the idea of setting up a project of pesticide company is dropped. So, have a look around. What are the projects running well? What are the projects suffering? And what are the projects coming up with promises? Price trend, that is very much important in this part. Project analysis, that is the prima facie analysis. Increased price levels also reveals increased demand levels, and thus it creates scope for a new project. Price difference between international and domestic prices. Commodity with lower international prices as compared to domestic price has always a danger of imports, whereas commodity with higher international price is lucrative as it provides opportunity to export. Government policy is another important consideration that to be taken care of. Any sector which is promoted by government is always boosted. Current government support to infrastructure has led to the movement of various industrial groups in the field of infrastructure. In India, you can find certain states are coming up very good infrastructure, and that is why and how the industries are coming just like flooding into that states, where some states are that reeling under the problem of what you call bad infrastructure. Location aspects, another important consideration. The entrepreneur who searches the benefit of location with respect to raw material availability, market proximity, government benefits and other infrastructure availability like road, power and water. Road, power and water, the three most important infrastructures are essential for any kind of industry to set on. Financial position, very much important. The entrepreneur also analyzes the approximate cost of the project during the phase and confirms the availability of funds to proceed to the next step. So, depending on the size, complexity, coverage of the project, the cost requirement is decided. Accordingly, you need to have a fund support. Project preparation. During this phase, teams are selected, very good teams, activities are identified and allotted to group members, and schedules of activities are formed and mentioned. This is done with the help of various tools like Gantt chart, network diagrams and monitoring tools like logical framework analysis. LF is a very important logical framework analysis, important tools for monitoring and evaluation. It has got vertical components like goal, purpose, output and activity, and horizontal components like NS, OVI objectively verifiable indicators, MOV means of verification and assumptions. With these tools and techniques, we can have a very good, perfect, competent analysis and monitoring of the project. Project review, yes, you have to have a review. This review report is a very important document that describes the problems faced and the changes made in the original project plan. Sometimes a kind of changes need to be accommodated, but that should follow a correct review of the project. DPR, detailed project report, very much important input for any project. General information, name, form of organization, sector, nature of products, promoters and their contribution, all to be mentioned. Background and experience of the promoters, whether they have got that kind of experiences. Say for example, for construction work, you need to select that kind of promoter who have got tremendous background and experiential profile. Marketing and selling arrangement, application of proposed products, services, growth rate, existing players and competitors. Details of the proposed project should be delineated neatly, cleanly and clandestinely. What these are: proposed products and their capacity, process of manufacture and its source, major equipment needed for the above process, management team with their qualification and experiences, detail of the land and building, details of the water and power. Again, water and power very much important ingredient for any project to set on and have a success. Influence and its treatment and disposal system, already I mentioned that the industrial influence sometimes doing harms to the public health, damaging ecological balances. So you have to be careful while, and what are the disposal of the effluents and what are the chemical composition, what kind of going to be effect of that chemical composition. Raw material availability is very much important. Availability of the raw material has got a telling impact on the price of the raw material, quality of the raw material. Manpower requirement already discussed. Technical arrangement, you have to make a perfect, up to date technical arrangement. Production process, during this part monitoring is essential, and good management indicates that there is a good production process. Environmental aspect, that to be taken care of. Time to time environmental reports are important. What are the impact on the water, what are groundwater recharges and rechargeability of the groundwater, and what kind of effluents are getting mixed with the groundwater, if any, whether there is any impact on the biodiversity existence, what kind of public health impact, all to be taken care of. Schedule of implementation and cost of the project. These two are related to each other. A good schedule of implementation means cost management will be better and efficient. A bad schedule of implementation means cost will be impacted negatively. Cost of the project already discussed. Means of finance, that is more important. What is your source of finance? How the finances are visiting your project? What are the conditions accessing and availing of that finance? Profitability and cash flow statement, it is 10 years generally. Appraisal based on profitability estimates, economic considerations. Appendices which include estimate of working results, calculation of the working capital requirements and margin money, coverage ratio and sensitivity analysis. Another neural analysis are there. Sensitivity analysis will help us to calculate the probability of the success. What kind of risks are there? Very important statistical packages and software are also available for this sensitivity analysis, and neural analysis help you for a DSS or decision support system. Now you can say that one good DSS or decision support system would help to select what kind of market product and what should be the amount of the market product will be there in place. Project selection criteria is very much important. The decision makers should first identify the criteria for selection of a project. A project which is good for one firm or entrepreneur may not be suitable for another. A detailed list of various possible criteria is provided here. The marketing factors, size of the potential market and focused customer segment. Customer segment is very much important. You can go for market segmentation by cataloging the consumers in terms of what you call your the male, the female, the age category, the income category, the culture category, the location category, and accordingly market segment can be decided upon. Probability of extensions or expansions of the market. A belligerent market means market is expanding. A squeezing market means you have to see that the market processes are gradually getting decelerated. export opportunity and import threat, customer acceptance, impact on current products, expected market share and current status of the rival companies is very much important. Always in the market you are rival to each other. You can be friend to each other, at the same time it is a reality that you are rival to each other, and you know that you have to keep collecting information and data about your rivals so that you can go for a better strategy, effective strategy and clandestine strategy. Time to achieve proposed market share, current stage of product life cycle. Every product has got a life cycle and you have to calculate the product life cycle, you have to audit too. Now production factors are there. Time to complete the project. Time is non-renewable resources. If time is consumed more, then you are a loser in the global market, even in the fiscal market. If you are perfectly on dot, then you are the competitor. You can finish it some couple of months or days before, then you are the winner. Availability of the resources, flexibility of operations, connection with the existing production lines, energy requirements and its sources, very much important. A dedicated supply of energy, and that is against an affordable price, will help you boost up you to go for a better and belligerent project monitoring and executions. Expected quality of the product or services, availability of technology and technology life cycle. Technology is always perishable, already I have mentioned. Technology life cycle that to be taken care of. At what point of time technology is rising, its effect is rising and it entering the market. It just catch on the technology when it is gradually rising, it is the upward swing is there. Now availability of the technology and technology life cycle already discussed. Financial factors very much important. It is just like a flow of blood in the body system. The lifeline for any industry, it is financial factors that you have to consider it. Cost of the project and means of sources, impact on current financial position of the firm, profitability in terms of profit margins and returns on investment, payback period, time period to reach the break-even point and working capital needs. The higher the time required to reach the break-even point, the lesser will the prospect for higher return and dedicated return. Working capital needs already told. The personal factors are there, the requirement of the manpower and skills. You can go for developing an inventory on the skills. The skills can be soft skill, can be the hard skills, and the skills can be categorized in terms of gender, that is the women skills, male skills. The skills can be in terms of innovation, innovative skills. Go on cataloging the skills and develop a skill inventory. Impact on existing employees and change in working environment, technical skill requirements. That point, that is impact on existing employees, is very much important. You have to take the employees into your consideration. Go for a participatory stakeholder management, since employees are the important stakeholders for your project. The legal factors are there, the government policies, patents and its protection, always intellectual property rights for any kind of innovation that will bring prestige and brand value to your project. At the same time, your innovative employees, they will be rewarded due to the contribution of the patents in favor of the organization of the project. Any other major legal complexity, get ready and you have to face if any such situation visits, and you can take care of that legal factor. Strategy factors is generally dealing with a long-term intervention factors, that is what to be done. Impact on the image of the company, that is brand value. Keep on collecting and generating the brand value for your company. Once you earn the brand value, you are the winner in the market. Acceptance by existing shareholders in line with the long-term mission of the firm is to exist in case of the failure. Now while we are talking about the project management processes, first we have to go what is the project life cycle, that you have to understand it. A project life cycle is basically the time within which a project is completed, starting from the initiation to the withdrawal of the project. As you know that project life cycle, this approach will help you to go for better project process management and product management. My dear friends, mind that for every project there is a process part, there is a product part, in between there is monitoring and management part. Tracking of the project to achieve the right that goal is very much important. And another important thing you have to take care of, that it is not just driving a car with 100+ kilometers per hour it is not that smooth. You have to go through a meandering path. You have to go in a there are rising experiences, there is ups and downs, there are vicissitudes and crises, there are prospects and pebbles you have to take care of. Whenever a project management is done perfectly on right tune and function, then you can have a good project achievement. Another, at the end I want to say that for every project, three important pillars are there. One is the cost of the project, second is the time, and third is the resources. You know, the project input or the resources are very much important, the time is very much important, and at the same time the cost is also very much important. These three things are tuned to each other: cost, resource and time. If time is consumed higher, then cost will go high. If cost to be taken care of, you have to be careful about the time, and you know that the time, cost and resources are related to each other. Both save the time, save the cost and save the resources, or go for wasting of the time, wasting of the cost, and there is a bleak prospect for your project. My dear friends, at the last it is that life itself is a project. Manage the life, manage the project, and there are ups and downs. Get in a swashbuckling way to make your project a zenith of your accomplishment. And as you say that life is the project, it is not just a process, it is not even a product. In between, mind that there is tracking and monitoring. Go for the better monitoring, go on combining the process and product to have a zenith of project achievement and accomplishment.